Go.
Yeah, hello everybody. My name is SO5Z and by my side is Bus Renter.
Yeah. Hi, Z.
And we're going to show you some Illusion of Gaia Randomizer. And we brought a special mode for you today, but we have a lot of things to talk about, so I would say we just start and explain on the way. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. So, we're playing the Ritual Madness mode, which means, as you can see on the screen, my HP is full. I have max HP, which means 40 HP. And which means I will be very beefy at the start of the game. But as I have a drawback, I will be losing 1 HP for every red jewel that I find and that I turn in. So, as I find more and more red jewels, I will get weaker and weaker. And the problem is I need to turn in red jewels because there are items locked behind the red jewels. Yep. And there's even a dungeon locked behind a number of red jewels. And yeah, also I have a limited inventory space, which means I can only carry 16 items at a time. So each red jewel takes a slot, so at some point I will have to use red jewels to free up inventory slots, or I can't pick up any more items. And I need items, obviously, to finish the seed. So right now we're in Watermere, which is in the middle of the game. So we have 5 continents in this game, and we need travel items to unlock the other continents. Whoops. Almost missed my leaf back. And now you saw I have found a red jewel. And if I use it now, my max HP goes down to 39. And I'm going to use a couple of red jewels because there are also HP upgrades that I can find and I don't want them wasted. But at this point, I'm just going for the easier checks. There's another travel item. Got another red jewel from my friend Gem the Jeweler. And here is, as you can see, there's the list of items I can buy with red jewels, and the last item is my secrets, and the price is 48. So I only have 40 HP. I would need 48 red jewels to open up this secret bonus dungeons. So at some point I will have to find additional HP so I can just, so I can even turn that in. Right now we're on continent 3, so we have only 3 locations open for us now. I'm going into the first dungeon of the game, which is the Great Wall. The Great Wall is not that difficult yet because I have plenty of space to move. Also, with that much HP, I can take a ton of hits before I actually die. I will still die on this run occasionally, but that's intentional, because I will be abusing a mechanic that's called death warping. Death warping means I will intentionally die and get back to the start of the dungeon because I don't have a good way to get back to the overworld map. And yeah, so death warping is a thing that will happen a lot. But in case I have an unintentional death, Bus Renter will point those out for you, and he will keep account, because since this is all going to a good cause, every unintentional death will be worth $10 from me at the end of this run. Thank you.
Clap for it.
Okay, so I'm working my way to the dungeon. I'm finding items in treasure chests now, and the occasional item that lies on the floor, which is the usual thing. And I'm also going into this dungeon because I want to check dark spaces. I don't only need items to finish the seed, I also need abilities. In my tracker you can see there's 3 abilities for will, which is the form you see on screen right now. But there is also 2 other forms that I can unlock. One is called Freedom. He also has abilities. And I will need 2 abilities from will and 1 ability from Freedom at least to finish the seed. So I can only find these abilities in dark spaces. So at the start of the game, I will prioritize locations that give me these dark space checks. And I'm going there right now. And while I'm there, I'm also using my first speedrun strat. I'm going to hit a switch that is out of reach. This switch I can't hit there, but if I run against the wall and hit at the last spot, I can extend my hitbox and hit the switch early without transforming, which is called extended hit. And now we're working our way to the first dark space. I'm gonna kill this snake just in case, because it's in the way. I'm gonna use this little guard dash through these guys, and here's my dark space, and if I'm lucky, I will find an ability here, and I am lucky. There's a Freedom ability. So this is Freedom, our second combat form. He's available from the start of the game, but oh my god, I'm super lucky. I found the Freedom ability that I want, so I don't need any more. Freedom is available from the start. He has a big sword, deals a bit more damage to enemies, and he will also be able to hit enemies from a distance now, because I found Dark Freya, which is Fireball. If I charge it up and then release, I will shoot this big fireball, and I can kill enemies that are usually not in reach. And I'm gonna even use it in this dungeon. There's another dark space, but it's behind an enemy that I usually can't reach. What am I doing? Go this way. Thank you. So we're going that way. Gonna skip this room then, because there are no more items, but there's one more dark space I want to see, so I'm gonna charge up my Dark Freya. And I'm gonna shoot at this guy. You see sometimes on screen there's a text box that pops up that says you are not equipped. This is called item buffering. If I use my item without having something equipped, I will trigger this text box, and while this text box is on screen, I can buffer another input. So, for example, I can buffer an attack input. I will not get the attack animation, but my abilities will start to charge up. So I'm gonna use that mostly as will to charge up my abilities while running. In case you don't know, in this game, running is always a double tap on the D-pad. I don't have a dedicated run button like in Super Mario World or some games. So I want to slow down the least amount as possible, because I need a lot of inputs to go back running. Right now we're in this hidden statue room. I'm gonna use Dark Freya again because it deals a bit more damage to kill a couple of archers that are camouflaged between the other statues. And with that I can open up another dark space and hopefully find another ability. If I find a certain ability, I could even reach the boss in this dungeon, for this is what we call a major dungeon. But I would not know which boss is in this dungeon because the incentive has been met and we are playing a boss shuffle seed. So I know what I need to get into the boss room, but which boss I will face, I have no idea. So we'll just have to find out and see. Why is this important? Well, I have certain conditions to beat this seed. Oh, sadly it's nothing. Okay, we're just gonna save and quit then. I need to find 4 mystic statues, and the way I get mystic statues is by killing bosses. So I will need to find bosses, but I don't know if I need to kill a specific boss or if I need to kill just any random boss. There's only one NPC that can tell me that, which is the teacher in South Cape, but I don't have access to that continent yet. So for now I'm running kinda blind. And there's another go mode condition. I need to free Princess Kara. That's where the minor dungeons come into play. Minor dungeons don't have bosses at the end, but each of the 5 minor dungeons can have Princess Kara at the end of her. So I need to find out where she is, and then I need a certain item, the magic dust, to free her out of the painting. And if I don't free her, I cannot access the last boss. So it's mandatory I find her, but I need to figure out where she is first. So
you only need one ability from Will to finish the seed on ability and not on items. Yes, you need Spin Dash to...
I need Slider too for the Angel Village dungeon and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we just used our first travel item, which is the Will. This allowed me to move from Watamia to the next continent, which is continent number 4, which is Euro. And in Euro, we will stand in line to get into the shop. As you can see, this line moves super fast. In the actual game, this line would take 6 minutes to move along, but our developer, Don't Begoom Me, has made a lot of quality of life changes to make it more convenient. We don't have item fanfares when we pick up items. We just have a fast text box, and almost all cutscenes have been removed, and those that could not be removed had been sped up. You will also see very speedy elevators later. and you might see some more cutscenes and dialogue boxes that have just been cut out to make the game a bit more, fluid, a bit more fast. So that was a good hint. That was the hint called Sam. So I already know that Kara will not be in the diamond mine. But we're going to pick up a couple more items first. I'm still pretty good on HP. The problem is in this continent there are 2 dungeons, but I can't access either of them yet because I need abilities for these dungeons,
Yes.
which is kind of my problem right now. So there's a couple more checks I can do, but I'm looking for either abilities now or I'm looking for another travel item. Travel items have been were usually story items that have been repurposed for the randomizer to open up passage between the continents.
Yes. So we saw that my secrets have 48 red jewels to get to the secret dungeon. Is it a problem when you need that much red jewels when you play Red Jewel Madness?
Yeah, it's a problem because I only have 40 red jewels. If I turn in more 40, then I'm at 0 HP and I'm basically in a constant death loop. So I need to find HP. I already found 1 HP upgrade as an item drop. That was worth 1 HP. So I'm technically already at 41. And if I kill bosses, I will get more HP because bosses are the way to get stat upgrades. So I need to kill 4 bosses eventually, but I might have to kill a boss early to get this HP. Statue of Hope. Oh joy. Okay, Statue of Hope is a dungeon item that I can use to access a place that I have that I don't like very much, which is the Hinton Continent Mu. But at this point, I'm pretty much forced to go there.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing else left. So here we go. We go into Angel Village Dungeon, and usually this room here is empty or it's a dead end, but in the randomizer it leads to this tunnel, which leads to the Sea Palace. I don't have the key for the Sea Palace, but I can go here into Mu. And yeah, Mu is nasty. The enemies are pretty mean. They shoot a lot of projectiles. There are enemies that just randomly appear in my way and can give me unavoidable hits, which is not that great. Also, they have a lot of HP, as you can see. And there are certain enemies that I have to kill, like this stone golem I have to kill because he triggers an orb. And this orb opens up the passage for me. So when I'm trying to ignore most of the enemies, but those enemies that have an orb I need to kill mandatory to go deeper into the dungeon. So, this is the first flasher. Thank you, flasher. So this guy I don't have to kill, but I want the treasure chest, obviously. Let's see if I can make this little trick work. Maybe I can skip. No, I messed it up. It's fine.
Yeah, flashers are some enemies that you really don't like at
Yeah,
this point.
yeah. That's why I don't like going to Mu. It's fine because I still have a lot of HP, so I can tank a couple of hits. But yeah. What you saw me do right here is I hopped into my menu for a second, and then I could walk through the stone wall, even though the explosion had not happened yet. This is called orb cancelling. If I open the menu for a second, then the game will update, but the graphic lags behind. So Will is just too cool. He doesn't look like an explosion. He just walks on.
Yeah.
Basically what happens.
It saves a little bit of time.
Yeah, it's every dungeon has orbs, and most dungeons have multiple orbs. So if you do orb cancelling on each dungeon, you save about 1.5 minutes over the course of a complete run. So it's it's noticeable. Oh, Mu Palace key. Oh, me gusta. Another red jewel.
That's a great find.
Yeah, that's a good find. So right now I'm done with this part of the dungeon. I can't really do anything else. So now I'm going to get myself killed again. There's always a good enemy for death orbs. As I said, right now I am super beefy because I have almost max HP. but I will get weaker and weaker and weaker, and at the end of the seed I will be forced to play very carefully to not get sniped by certain enemies.
Yeah.
Okay, there's another dark space, and I want to see this dark space, and it's empty, which is sad. Oh.
No.
Sad. Okay. But I still have 4 items. I also have my first quote-unquote fetch quest. I found a purification stone earlier, and in this place, the Sea Palace, I can turn this purification stone in. It will turn all the demons you see walking around back into humans, and one of the human will... Oh my god. That's my second hope statue, which means I have more checks in Mu right now, but I'm gonna stay here for now. Yeah, there are a couple of fetch quests like that in the game. Luckily, it's not overwhelming, but it's always... if you try to... You always try to clear one location of all of its checks before you move on to the next one. And if you can't do that, then you have to do something that we call double dipping. And double dipping always wastes time compared to just going in once, full clearing everything and going out. So I will try to avoid it as much as possible, but sometimes you're just forced.
Yeah. So the seed wants you to go to Mu, then to Sea Palace, and then back to Mu again.
Yeah, this seed is kind of a bit trolly. Found a multiple red shield, gonna use that right away. And you can see my HP goes down and down and down. I'm at 33 max HP now, and my inventory just gets more and more full. As you can see, I only have 5 slots left, so if I find more items that I can't use immediately, some items I can just use out of my inventory, and I gain a kind of a buff, or I gain kind of an effect. But some items, like these 2 crystal balls that I found, I need to bring to a specific place before I can drop them out of my inventory. And now the fetch quest gave me another fetch quest item.
The apple.
The apple, yes. Which is also kind of trolly.
Yes.
So I can gamble and go for the fetch quest item now, or I can go back to Mu. I'm going back to Mu, but I'm only going to do the very first check, because to go deeper into Mu would mean a large time investment. But there are shortcuts. If I find an ability, then I can use all these shortcuts. So I'm just gonna turn in this hope statue, get rid of the last section of water in this dungeon, and that unlocks one of the treasure chests at the very start. But I'm not gonna commit to going very deep inside this dungeon, because I would probably spend 3 or 4 minutes in here, and I think I'm better. I think it's better if I check the apple first. I just have a feeling that the apple might be the answer. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we're still looking for travel items. Lola's letter would be a great item right now. The large roast would be a good item right now, because they would unlock another different continents for me. But at this point, I have to go on what the seed gives me. So we're back in Euro, because up here in the mansion, there's a lady who likes apples, and if I give her the apple, she will give me an item.
So at this point, it can only be the apple or Mu.
The large rose, nice, very good. So this is just unlocked the continent 5 for me. So the large rose is usually used on the raft scene, when you're stuck on the raft for I think a month, and you need the large rose to survive. But in the randomizer, we instead use it to feed the starving villagers in Native's village. And as a reward, they will guide me to Dao, which is the last city. And I found the Gorgon flower. Wow, another fetch quest item. Wow, I'm getting these out of the way early.
Is the last fetch quest at this point?
Technically, there's a coffin still, right?
Yeah, okay. Lily, yes.
There's the coffin and Lily, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, what we're doing first is we're going to get another hint. Sky Gardener's Crystal Ring. Okay. Oh, there's Lola's letter. Perfect. Okay, with those 2 items, I just got open world. But before we go travel the world, we're going to play the snake game. The snake game has been randomized as well. Usually it's 60 seconds, but for us it's between 10 and 60 seconds. And the amount of snakes you have to hit depends on your combat difficulty. So with 20 seconds, I'm pretty good on time. I need 16 snakes, and I got 33, and I got the necklace. Speak of the devil.
Yes.
It's a red jewel. Can I get something else here? Just a red jewel? No. I'm not going to turn in any more of these. Oh, I have to. I might have to. I can. We're going to do a little detour. We are going to go into the pyramid. I can't do very much in the pyramid because I need a certain item. Which is the aura. The aura would unlock my third combat form, which is Shadow. Shadow can use the aura to liquefy and then, sink through the floor. You see these tiles on the floor, and the Shadow can sink through that. But I don't have the aura yet, so I'm just going to go in here, check this dark space, because I get an item here. This is the only dark space that gives me an item. It's the elevator key, okay.
But it says full.
Yes, I know.
Maybe you can try to discard the
I'm just gonna put them in.
Or you put it in.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put them in while I'm here. So there are 6 slots for these hieroglyphs, and there's a specific order. I don't know the order yet, but I can just use the. I can just put them down here, and I can use the dark space to go back to Watermere, which is faster, I think. So whenever I'm in my dark space, I can save and then return to my starting position. In this seat, my starting position is Watermere. So you've seen me do it a lot of times, and I'm going to do it again. Whenever I'm in an inconvenient space, I'm just going back to my starting position. And right now, I have all the continents unlocked. We're going to continent 2 first, which is... Inca statue is also nice. Anna's large roast, I know that already.
This was useless.
This was useless. So we're on continent 2 now. We have more locations and more dungeons. And I'm going to go into one dungeon right away, which is the Nazca, which leads me to Sky Garden. This is twofold. This place has a lot of dark spaces, and I'm still looking for will abilities. And also, I have crystal balls, and I can turn these crystal balls in here. If I find 4 crystal balls, then the way to the middle will be open, and I can fight the boss. And this boss shuffle, I don't know which boss is in here, but it would be nice to have an early boss kill, I guess.
Because of the upgrades.
Because of the upgrades, and I'm gonna use a couple more red jewels here. We're moving backwards in the game now, so these dungeons are quote-unquote easier. So the enemies will deal less damage to me, but on the other hand, death warps will take longer. So I will play more sloppy because I'm going to try to take as many hits as possible while I'm working my way to the end of the room, so I can have a faster death warp. But first, I'm doing another speedrun strat. Usually you can't get across these ramps unless you run down from another ramp, but if I time my jump attack right, I can just hop over this ramp, turn this room from a 3-minute room into a 40-second room. So yeah, super useful. Also gonna use a little speedrun strat. I'm gonna clip through this wall by using a jump attack, and I can unlock this dark space a bit earlier. Usually you would need Freedan and his long sword to hit that switch without getting locked out of the wall. And sadly the dark space is just a transformation.
Yes.
So no dice, but no problem. I still have lots of checks in here. The second reason why I came here is I have Dark Freya, and with this I can full clear this place. So I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to just go in, get all the items, and then leave again. So I'm just going to go into this room next. I can use the same technique I used to jump up the ramp to jump up these larger ramps, and what happens is I get all my speed boost from the last pixel of the ramp. So if I jump up that last pixel, I can get the whole speed without having to climb up the ladder and then run all the way back. So each of these ramp glitches saves about 3 seconds if you do it right.
If you do it right, yeah.
If you do it first try, basically. And even if you do it third try, you still are break even. So it's only a time waste if you need 4 attempts to set it up. Okay, we transformed back into Friedan. That means I'm going to use Dark Freya again. I will try to be Will as long as possible, because Will just he's as fast as any other character. There's no movement speed, it's all the same. But Will can do jump attacks, and jump attacks give me invincibility frames. And I can use these invincibility frames to get out of tricky situations, and I can jump through enemies, or I can just block them. And later, if I get my Will abilities, I'm also able to kill enemies a lot faster with Will abilities than I can with Friedan. So I will only use Friedan whenever I am forced to use Dark Freya. Right now I found the Crystal Ring. Crystal Ring is very nice because I can just use it out of my inventory and gain a permanent buff. Now I could go into the area with the boss rush in Babel Tower if I had access to Babel Tower, which I don't. So at this point it's nice to have early, but it does not open up that much for me yet. I'm gonna hit this guy so he doesn't move in my way. And then I'm going to weasel my way past these enemies, trying to not to get hit. I'm going to go up here to trigger this fire snake a bit earlier. Then I'm going to run around the room. And while I do that, the fire snake will keep moving on. And if I do it right, then the fire snake will not block my way. It will in fact just be so that I can slip past and get this dark space. Very good. That worked out very fine. And you know the drill. I want to be Friedan because I need Dark Freya somewhere. And you saw me use item buffering to buffer attack inputs, but I can also buffer directional inputs. And if I do that, then my character will move a very specific number of pixels. So basically, with item buffering, I can do pixel perfect movement. And there is a passage here where there is exactly 1 pixel where I can get past one of these statues. So instead of hitting the statue, destroying the sword, and then moving the statue out of the way like I did now, I'm trying to clip past the statue instead by using item buffering and getting on that correct pixel. First I'm gonna get this item. Oh, nice. only good items. Trying to do the strat now. I did a little iframe dash through these enemies. I hit them and then I walked through the hitbox while they were in their hurt animation. This is a 3-frame window. But now it's time for the strat.
Let's see if it works. Looks very good.
Perfect.
Nice.
So there was 1 pixel where I could get past the statue and get this item early. And now I've got the item, so I can death warp. I can use a red jewel or 2 to make the death warp a bit faster. Come on. Thank you. Okay. That was the tricky part of the dungeon. Now there's just 1 room left. This is a room where I don't need any abilities. I just have to run through, gain 3 quick items, and then I'm finished with this place, except for the boss. Unless I find another crystal ball, then maybe I could. But that would be a vanilla crystal ball, and is this even randomized?
Yes.
Okay, red jewel instead. I'm fine. I still don't know if I need these red jewels. There was a hieroglyph on the red jeweler. And there's also the bonus dungeon. I might need that space. The bonus dungeon has 1 item locked behind him, but it can also be used to gain access to Solid Arm, which is the hidden bonus boss. And Solid Arm is an option for me to gain statue 6. Each boss correlates to a certain mystic statue. So for example, if I need Mystic Statue number 1, I need to find Castoff and kill Castoff. That's the only way I can get Mystic Statue number 1. But for Mystic Statue number 6, I can either find Mummy Queen 2.0, so the boss rush version of the Mummy Queen, or I could kill Solid Arm. So I have 2 options there. So it's nice to have these red jewels out of the way early. Okay.
So we need 48 red jewels to get access to Jeweler's Mansion.
Yeah.
To get to Statue 6.
Yes. For example. Unless it's a boss shuffle seat, so Mummy Queen 2.0 might not be behind the boss rush. But yeah, we'll talk about the boss shuffle a bit when we get access to our first boss, I guess. we're going into a new miner dungeon. We already found a key that we can use here, which is great. But, you know it, there are more dark spaces in here, and I want to see them all. Because I still desperately need a will ability. I need at least one will ability to open a couple of checks in here. So I'm taking a gamble right now. I have to leave 2 checks behind at this point. But maybe it's gonna pay off. Because it's the place with the most dark spaces that I can reach right now. And there was another hieroglyph, which is another boss item. Which is nice to have. And as you can see, with jump attacks, I'm pretty safe. So we're just gonna push this guy out of the way. Hit another switch. Use extended hits, oops, to hit this switch. And here's a fake wall. I can destroy fake walls with will abilities. Any will ability will work, but preferably I will not get the Psycho Dash, because everything the Psycho Dash can do, I can also do with other abilities. So I would love to see Slider or Spin Dash first.
Okay, so for statue 1, 2, and 3, you need 4 items.
No, I don't want to pick this up. I have to. I have to pick it up.
For statue 4, you need 2 abilities. For statue 5, you need exactly 7 items. And for statue 6, you need the crystal ring. Not for statue, for the boss rooms.
For the boss rooms. For the boss rooms, because boss shuffle, I don't know which boss is in which room, but I still have the same requirements for the rooms to get in there. So I don't know which statue correlates, but for the boss in dungeon number 2, I need the 4 crystal balls, for example. And yeah, I transformed into Freedom again. That can only mean one thing. There's something that I want to kill from a distance. And it's this guy. Because now there's a barrier. Now the barrier's gone. We don't look at explosions. Freedom is as cool as Will, if not more. He doesn't look. And Rama Statue is another boss item, which would lead me back to the continent Mu, which we already been. So that might be a reason to go back there. Oops. Would you kindly... I don't care about taking that much damage. I just don't want to be slowed down while I take the damage.
The beholder don't like you at this moment.
It's okay, it's okay. I need to death warp anyway. Yes, please hit me. Thank you. So, there's one more dark space hidden behind the fake wall. I can't reach it, so I hope that this is a will ability, otherwise I have to... No, it's not. Of course it's not. Why would it be? Okay, that's the randomizer for you. Sometimes you just have to take a gamble. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. I don't want to run all the way back, so we're going to use this tunneler to gain a bit of speed boost. But I mentioned that I have a key. And we're going to use that key now to gain access to 2 more items. For that, I just have to run through this first room again. And now we can ride the world's fastest elevator.
Yes.
And hope we don't fall off, because this looks scary.
So death warping in this dungeon is really nice, because the dungeon is splitted into, say, 2 areas, and then you can go to the elevator area really quickly when you death warp. Yeah,
exactly. So, that was the magic dust. Perfect.
Nice.
That's a nice find. So now the minor dungeons don't hold the threat for me anymore, because once I finish them and Kara is there, I can just free her. If I go into a minor dungeon without the magic dust and find Kara, that means I have to play the whole dungeon again. But that's not gonna happen to me in this seed, so this is good for estimate, definitely. And another red jewel, because I will find predominantly red jewels, because there are 50 red jewels in the item pool. The item pool is only 130 items, so yeah, you're just gonna find so many red jewels, either if you want them or not. It's nothing you can do against it. It's like rupees in A Link to the Past. There's just so many checks that you will run into more than you ever need. Okay,
But you know that Kara is not in Diamond Mine.
I know that she's not in Diamond
Yes.
Mine, but I don't know anything else. But I need abilities to check more locations, so we're just gonna go into this town. In a town again, we will have items in hidden places, like oh god, let's bite the bullet.
So you have to release some of the jewels to
Yes.
get space in your inventory.
Yeah, and now I'm 18 red jewels at the jeweler. I can either give them directly to them or I can use them out of my inventory. But my HP gets lower and lower. I'm down to 23 at this point. I was starting at 40, so I'm almost half down, and I might even have to use a couple more because I don't want to leave these dungeons behind. Mine key B is not helping. What did Sam have for Rama statue, right?
I don't know.
It's a
Is it
nerve,
Ram
it's a red
statue or what
jewel.
is a red jewel?
I don't know. Mushroom drops are not helpful either, but there's one more. Dark space. Please, dark space, be nice. Nope.
Nope. But you have continent 1 left.
Yeah, I have continent 1
Yes.
still left. So the good thing, we have open world. There's still another continent worth of dungeons and yeah, cities. I have the diamond block, which will help me a lot in this new continent. So we're just going to go back to the diamond coast and we're going to move on. There was one location that I did not meet at all, which was the Neil's cottage. Neil is my cousin, and he has a plane, but he doesn't remember how to fly his plane. So I need to find the memory melody to make him remember. And until I have the memory melody, I can't really do anything with him. Mushroom drops full.
Again full.
Yeah, I'm gonna use 2 more mushroom drops. So right now I'm running out of inventory space because I have so many items except red jewels. So this is inventory management is definitely a thing. In Red Jewel Madness even more than in other game modes.
Yes.
Okay, that was our grandma, by the way. She gave us another red jewel, and here's the teacher. And I need 1, 2, 4, 6. Okay. In my tracker you see that these statues now have a symbol. So I need to find these specific statues, which means I need to find these specific bosses. So boss shuffle might be, yeah, might become a problem later. Do I even want to go into Inca right away?
Inca is open because of the diamond block.
Yeah, and but I can't do. I can get 1 dark space, I guess, with sea letter. Let's check these 2 items in Edward's first. Maybe I get another. I kind of want to go Edward's castle for the. I can't do anything in the dungeon yet, but there's a dark space.
Yeah, so. Yeah.
Laborer has Rama statue. I think that's the one I already found.
I think Sam has a red jewel at this point.
Okay.
I don't know exactly, but
It's in a-
So you're checking the dark space in Edwards?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, I think I will. Oh, there was an HP upgrade, which is good. This basically means I can use 1 more red jewel.
so when you're talking to the king, you were ported into the prison, and then you can only get out with a save and quit,
Yes.
and then you're back in Watermere.
Yes. This is a place where I'm locked unless I can open this door, but Hamlet, the pig, will give me another item. Hi, Hamlet. Bye, Hamlet. In the randomizer, we save the animals. Hamlet is not going to be roasted at the end of this game. Oh, that was a good call. And it's spin dash.
Nice.
Nice. I could go check my first boss at this point. I might.
So
I'm down 20 HP, right?
Yeah. So we have Spin Dash and Dark Friar to get access to Statue 4.
Location 4.
Location 4.
We
don't know which
we
boss, yes.
Yeah, we still
I'm
don't know.
forgetting it out.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. That's why I'm here. So we're gonna go for a burst boss check right away. And depending on which boss we find, we might kill it or we might not. If we find the vampires or Mummy Queen 2.0, we might not kill it. Because for Mummy Queen 2.0, I want the aura to properly fight her. And the vampires correlate to statue number 3, which I don't need. So would be just waste the time. As you can see, I can use my spin dash right away to skip these rooms. I don't have to jump down, do the tedious downward sections. I can just jump over these ramps. This is a mechanic that I will use a lot later in the game. And at this point, I can... The door is already open. I can reach the end room, which is also locked behind the ramp. So whichever boss I find here, I have to fight him as Will, because only Will can jump over ramps. So this is a location where the boss Mummy Queen cannot be. Come on, thank you. Because the Mummy Queen fight as Will is super long and super punishing, so our developer, Don't Begoo Me, basically made it impossible to get a Will fight against Mummy Queen. But any of the other bosses is still fair game, so let's see what we find. And the problem why this is a forced Will fight could be a problem. Oh, it's Viper, good. This is the second boss. I need this boss, so I'm gonna kill it. I probably would have killed it even if I didn't need it, because it's a super easy boss fight. I just whack at him while he spits his crystals, and I use jump attacks to avoid his feathers. Trying to squeeze in as many hits as I can. Turn around to avoid these feathers. Very good. One more cycle. Whoops. That was not good timing. And there he's down. And now I got some stat upgrades, and I got 3 HP upgrades. Which is actually decent.
Yeah,
actually pretty nice. So my HP went back up from 20 to 29, which is pretty good. And I've got my first Mystic statue, so we're 1/4 out of the way. And now I can go to Inca, I suppose. I don't know, do I want to go Cress maybe? Cress is also a good idea at this point. 2 mushroom drops.
Yeah.
And I can turn into Gorgon Flower on the way. Yeah, I wanna go to Cress.
I think that's a good idea.
3 dark spaces is too good to pass up on.
No.
Okay, so with Spin Dash, a couple new dungeons have opened up. One of them is Mount Cress, which is the least favorite dungeons of many runners. Either randomizer runners or vanilla speed runners. But it's a good place for me to go right now, because 3 dark spaces means 3 chances to find my last mandatory ability. And also, this is the dungeon that has, in the last year, turned Illusion of Gaia into a completely different game, because there has been a wrong warp that has been discovered, which can be triggered in this dungeon. This dungeon is so full of enemies that in one room there are so many sprites that the game just like surrenders, and you can softlock easily in this room. But a member of the community, Herosoft, has found out that if you manipulate the enemies into a specific position, then you can trigger a wrong warp. And you can basically, if you know on which pixel to stand in, you can basically warp into any point in the game, including the credits. So at this point, the any % run was only playing to Cress and then warping directly into the credits. We got another new category, which was Beat Dark Gaia, which just beats Cress and then teleports to the last boss fight. Or we have a super weird ability, which is called Beat All Bosses, which ports a total of 3 times warps into the boss rooms of the remaining bosses. So yeah, and of course the old categories still remained, but they were no wrong warp categories then. So we still have any % no wrong warp, which was the old any %, and then we have 100%. Which is the category I like to play the most.
So we have a few items and a few dark spaces here left in Mount Cress.
Yeah.
We have 2 mushroom drops at this point, so we get access deeper in the dungeon.
Yeah.
And let's see what it has.
Yeah, and I'm going to use my spin dash a whole lot. Whenever I need to get through an enemy, I would just charge up a spin dash, or when I need a speed boost when I'm going into one direction for a very long time, I'm just going to use that to my advantage. Another HP upgrade, and perfectly timed too.
Yes. So you don't need to talk to Gaia to...
Yeah. Still gonna check the dark space, obviously, because there could be my slider inside. but I don't need to heal because that HP upgrade also worked as a full heal. Okay, no will ability, so I can go.
And the death upgrade, which comes from Natives Village, was good at this point.
Yeah.
Because it's nice
Pretty
to
good.
have
Yeah.
a little bit more defense.
Yeah. Yeah, defense decreases the kind of damage that I take, and that also works against bosses, so I will also take less damage from bosses, including the final boss. So defense upgrades are universally good. Strength upgrades are not as good because strength upgrades only increase the damage that I do against regular enemies. The damage I deal against bosses is hard-coded, sadly. Will only deal 1 damage against bosses. Freedom will deal 2, and Shadow will deal 3 damage against bosses, no matter how many strength upgrades I have. So I will try to kill bosses as Freedom or Shadow in the future. And now I'm got trapped in Lag City because these guys just cause so many sprites to appear that the game just, yeah, lags out really bad. Which means I was not able to get my spin dash charged up, but it's fine. We made it work.
Luckily, one fairy drops the jewel that heals up a little bit.
Yeah, I got a health drop, which is nice,
Yeah.
but I was not planning on it. Okay, I'm gonna use my last mushroom drop to make these vines grow together. There's another broken vine over here. I can't access it yet because I would need a 3rd mushroom drop. So I cannot reach the last item of this dungeon, and I can also not reach the location where Kara would be hidden, if she's even in here, which I don't know yet.
But you know that Kara...
she's
lots of
always
time
in Cress.
always in
She's always in
Yes.
Cress, yes, of course. Because Cress is the worst dungeon. So, of course, she's in Cress.
Yeah.
Okay, there's one more dark space. I'm just gonna spin dash here to not get hit by these skulls. And I'm going to jump in here and see if I can get... No. I'm gonna take a risk. I'm not gonna heal because I'm gonna death warp soon. I killed the spiders in the middle. I should be fine.
Yes.
I should be able to tank 1 more hit. 1 or even 2, depending on what hits me.
So at this point you have 1 item left in the quest, right?
Yes. I only have 1 item left, and I'm going on my way over there. Going to manipulate this spider so it goes out of my way. This is the enemy I'm worried about, and he's gone. Ooh, Lag City, but I'm out. Jump up here, item. Aura, nice.
Oh, this is nice.
A pretty good item. So the aura is the item that unlocks my 3rd combat form, Shadow. And we're gonna go straight to the pyramid, I think, while I still have HP.
And aura is also a go mode requirement.
Yes, I need Shadow to face the final boss. So I think we're gonna go to the pyramid right away.
Do you have a quick moment for a donation?
Always.
Awesome, thank you very much. We got a pretty generous big donation here, $50 by just Butters with the comment less than 3.
Less than 3 is correct. Thank you very much for a generous donation.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. And that goes towards the, let me check, so I don't say, to the name of the starter Pokemon on the next run. So, yeah. Behind that is Lanky with $10 and Monmon with €7.20. So, quite a bit of catch-up for those two. So, yeah, back to you.
Thank you. So, we've been here before, but now I can transform into Shadow. I'm using a little graphical bug. I used the aura, and because my inventory is active, the statue is already there, but you can't see it. It's a graphical bug. The graphic just lags behind. When I enter the dark space next time, you will see a statue of Shadow. Yeah, Shadow can use the aura to sink through the floor. And with that, I can reach the lower part of the dungeon. And the pyramid is the most dense dungeon because there are a total of 12 items in here. And yeah, you can only reach 1 without the aura. But now that we're here and now that we have lots of HP, we're going to go for the most difficult check right at the start. The reason why I go for the difficult checks first is because I will only get weaker as the game goes on, so I need to get these tricky checks out of the way. And this check is infamous. This is the Killer 6 check. These laser orbs, they hurt lots, and they can easily triple hit me or more. And at the end of this room, there will be a passage where there are 6 of these orbs right next to each other, and basically I have to slip into a perfect pixel to hit them all and stun lock them, otherwise they will just destroy me. Or I have to use my herbs, my healing items, to counteract the damage. And as you can see, these guys really are not nice.
Yes.
So I am going to try to get in there, and a little headphone warning, because there's only one way to do the Killer 6, which is either just go in full charge and and hope for the best. So we're gonna equip an herb for safety, and when you charge in, there is a little tradition to make sure you do it damageless, which is Valhalla. Oh, I messed it up. Herb, save me. Ooh. Okay, first try.
Nice.
First try.
Yeah, it was
Calculated. Okay, so as you can see, even with my massive oh no.
No! You need to herb.
Yeah, need to use an herb.
You need to use a herb.
Ah,
This is the point when he.
if I use that, if I was at 1 HP, if I use the red jewel, I die. So I need to heal. This is kind of wasted, but it's fine. So yeah, that was the scariest check in the game, and you could see why. But now I'm gonna free up a couple more inventory spaces. I'm going to turn down these red jewels. We're going to take a safety heal now, because now the rest of the dungeon is a bit smoother. So we're just going to, come on, let me in. Going to take a quick heal and then do the rest of the dungeon.
Yeah, so the pyramid is very attractive for items, because we have 12
It's also
items.
it's also a big time sink though, so it's always kind of a risk-reward thing. You have to invest a lot of time to get a lot of checks, but sometimes you only find red jewels which you don't need anymore. So it's kind of a risk-reward, but at this point where I'm now, it's the reward is way bigger than the risk. What you see me do here is attack before I use the aura. This is a little glitch called the aura glitch. The game, I cancel my attack animation with the aura animation, but the game thinks I'm still attacking. So when I drop down and land on the floor and I land inside of an enemy, the game will think I attacked this enemy and he will push it out of the way, so I won't get hit while sinking down. Which is super useful, because usually when you come out of the aura animation, there's a couple of frames where you just can't move, can't defend, can't attack, and nothing. And yeah, it's easy to get hit in these couple frames, but with the aura glitch I can prevent that. You also see me use these teleporters to get out. That is because I want to keep my shadow transformation, because I still want to use the aura for one more item. After that, I'm going to go back to Death Warping. Death Warping always transforms you back into Will. And if I want to keep my combat form, I have to go leave the rooms manually with these teleporters. And, whoops, laser orb, please. And if I can afford to be Will, Death Warping is always faster. Sadly, no swag pixel. There's a pixel when you land down here, you basically land inside the door, and you don't have to stand up and do the other animations. Sadly, I missed it by maybe 2 pixels.
No.
Okay, last aura drop that I have to do. If the enemy behaves, he does not, but I could stun lock him because he was far enough away. So just one more iframe dash. And we are done with the shadow sections and can go to the will sections. And the will sections are considerably easier because I have spin dash. If in doubt, just spin. Spin for the win.
Yes. So shadow is only necessary in room 5 and on Killer 6, I think.
Yes.
And when you have spin dash, you can do the rest with will.
Yes. There are 4 items in total that are locked behind Spin Dash, but yeah. I'm going to do the rooms in backwards order because that's how the speedrun does it, and yeah, we try to use the speedrun tactics a lot. Also, room 1 is notorious for death warping, so yeah, I use the teleporter in room 1 because the death warp would mean I will have to use an extra spin dash to get back to an enemy, so it makes sense to start at the back and then move forward. Okay, and as you can see, these mummies don't actually hit me when they're still inside their coven in the wall, so I'm going to use that. Oh, that was
nothing.
That was our first nothing item. There are 2 empty chests in the game, and they have been randomized as well, so whenever I find these empty chests, I get the it's nothing. Which is not the worst, it's just 2 out of 130, but yeah, sometimes it's a bit trolly.
So what's more positive for you, empty or nothing?
I like the empty chests. I like the empty chests a lot. Okay, this is the most difficult of the will rooms, so we're gonna play this super safe. Here are 6 more orbs back to back, so a Nitro Killer 6, but as you can see with Spin Dash, these are not an issue anymore. So we're going to make this little mini gauntlet happen. I'm gonna ignore all the enemies. Got a pixel to get being squeezed between those. Going to stay low here to don't trigger the mummies. And now I need to... Very good. Oh, that was good. Oops, I still have the aura equipped. I just realized. Which is not good, because I can't item buffer while I have the aura equipped. But it's fine, it's fine. Got it through the cycle. Whoops. Did not hit the pixel. There's 1 pixel when you can get this chest early. Did not get it, so I'm going to do the save. Gonna kill these guys so I can get to the last item. Gonna use 1 more red jewel to open up the last item location for me. And now I'm gonna use item buffering to get into this early cycle consistently. You can just barely do it if you do an attack animation, but with item buffering you can always reach that early cycle. And it's mushroom drops. Yay! So now I could go back to Cress and clear this dungeon if I wanted to. But I still have stuff to do in here. Still 4 more items I can get. So definitely gonna stay here. And what's our time? 1 hour. We have magic dust. We have... we still need slider, right? It's kind of sad that I still need slider. It would be so good otherwise. So we're still good on time, but I need to do a couple of not optimal checks soon.
So you need slider for the possible Kara location, right?
Yeah, I need it for Angkor Wat, I need it for Angel Village.
Yeah.
So I could be lucky and just find her in Cress.
Yeah, what we said before, Kara is always in Cress.
Yeah, that's right. So I'm using another strat here that is also used in the speedrun, but this strat has been found in the randomizer actually. This used to be a shadow room where we sink through the floor, but we found out if you jump down from this little section twice, you just open up this passage. This is not randomizer, this is in the vanilla game code, but nobody figured it out until somebody played the randomizer and was just like, wait, what's this crack on the floor? And I'm gonna use it again here. I'm gonna damage boost through these guys, open up another of these passage, and this made the speedrun almost 2 minutes faster because you didn't have to do another room with... Oh, memory melody is good. You didn't have to use another shadow for another room, and you had 1 more room where you can death warp. Death warping is always faster. Especially in the speedrun where you don't have beefy stats like I do, where enemies easily deal 6 to 8 damage to you, and death warping is super fast. Okay. Almost finished with the pyramid. Last room is pretty easy. Just gonna use Spin Dash a couple of times. And then we can see where else we can go. I have a lot of stuff to do on Continent 1 now. I can full clear Edward's Castle. I can go into Inca. If I find the Wind Melody, I might even clear the boss. I think Continent 1 is a good place to go right now.
Have access to Italy.
Yeah, Italy is for another dark space. Yeah, sounds like a decent plan.
That's a good idea.
I can drop down the teapots to free another oops, I was too fast, to free another inventory spot. I could do Neo strats to skip Wind Melody, but I don't think I want to do that.
Yeah, so the Wind Melody is to when you play the Wind Melody, you get a tile
Yeah,
starts glowing.
Yeah, there's basically a room with 72 tiles, and you need to stand on one specific tile to to open up a door. And the tile has been randomized, of course. So you in the vanilla game, you know which tile it is, and you don't need the melody. But in the randomizer, we definitely need this melody. I could have just used the dark space instead. Too late for that now. I think I'm gonna play the memory melody first, just to get this check out of the way. Yeah, I think I want to play the memory, so I can get easier access to DAO next time. It's not a big of a time loss, and I get a dark space check in DAO that I would very much skip very late otherwise. So this is our cousin Neil. He forgot how to play his plane. We're gonna play a melody because we can play the flute very nicely. So nice that he even remembers. And this unlocks continental travel for us. We can get easier to continent 5 and 4. And we have a side location open to us now, which is Babel Tower. And in Babel Tower there are 2 more items and a dark space. And this is where the boss rush is located. The boss rush, the first 4 bosses in the boss rush are normal. But the last boss has been randomized because of boss shuffle. So this might be something we have to do if a required boss is at the end of this.
Okay, that's alright.
But I'm not gonna do this right now because it takes a lot of time and oh my god, please be slider. Yes, oh, paid off. Cool. So now everything is open for me basically. I have all side locations and there's only one more fetch. No, there's no fetch request item I need.
No.
Just one more mine key. So basically now the world is my oyster and I can do just whatever I want. Now I'm just looking for access to bosses at this point, and we're going to start checking all these minor dungeons to find Kara. There's an item that could also tell me where she is, but if I find her naturally, I don't need that item. So we're going back to Continent 1. We did only a brief visit here, but now we're going to do a lot of more. Do I have an item spot? No, but I can create one.
Yeah, can use the teapot at Moon
Yes,
Tribe.
and do the check in Moon
And do
Tribe.
the check, yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So, no, I don't want to lift. Technically, we have one. We know where one boss is. Statue 6 is always going to be in the bonus dungeon if I kill Solid Arm. So that's a statue I don't have to worry about. I just have to find enough red jewels, which should not be the problem because, as I said, they are the most common item. And I keep finding them. I'm already at 29, so I just need a couple more. But if I run into Mummy Queen 2.0, I might also kill her instead. Okay, we're going to our last site location. As you can see, there's nothing, but once I play the magic melody, a town appears, of course. What else happens when you play magic melodies?
Yeah.
Most normal thing in the world.
So you don't need to check any more dark spaces at this point?
No, I don't need to check any more dark spaces. That's finished. I'm just going to go for item checks now. And in the magic village, our friend Lily lives, and we're gonna give her a necklace, and she's gonna live in a pocket from then, because that's what happens when you give necklaces to girls, or so I'm told.
That's what melody.
Yeah. So what happens? Lily is magic as well because she lives in a magic village, and she can turn into a dandelion seed. And we're gonna use that to do certain checks because she can help us. Yeah, Killer 6 Incas that should be. I know, dude. I know. But thanks for telling
Another
me.
useless hint.
Yeah. Sometimes you get hints about locations you already checked. I think we're just gonna go Edward's Castle, full clear Edward's Castle, and then full clear Inca. We have the wind melody.
Yeah. So you have all items to full clear Inca.
Yeah, and to do Edward's Castle
And
for
Edward's
the
Castle too,
So we're gonna do that first, and then we're just finished with Continent 1 basically.
So
Cool.
you
Cool.
have access to statue to the statue 4 was the
Viper.
Viper.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Inca is a location where any boss could be. So Mummy Queen could be there as well. Right now we are in the prison again, though. This time we have the key, and we can go deeper into the dungeon. There are 4 more items in there. But I also need my friend Lily. But first we're just gonna move to this dungeon. This dungeon is the first dungeon in the game, and the enemies are passive. They don't care about me, I don't care about them. They're just chilling, I'm just walking past, and nobody's gonna bother me a lot. They don't deal any damage, and they die super easy. Like these bats are 1 hits, these tunnelers are just 2 hits. So we're just gonna not bother, run, get past these spikies. I don't care if I take a couple of hits, because like I said, this dungeon is not very hard. Gonna make these spikies move to get into this section. Gonna do another orb and an orb cancel here by killing this guy. Orb cancel. We don't look at explosions. Now, there are these spears that fall down. They are on a global timer, so I'm trying to go for a early psych. Oh, this is not gonna work. Oh, it worked. Nice.
Good RNG.
Good RNG, yeah. We're gonna jump down here for another item. Do I have another inventory blood? Yes, I'm gonna just use 1 more for good measure. So yeah, I'm going weaker and weaker, which is okay now because I'm going into the early dungeons. But there's still 1 late game dungeon that I haven't done yet, which is Angkor Wat. Right now, Lily is going to help us push this button. She flew to the left, we're going to the right. She counts to 3, but she counts very slow. And on 3, the door opens. So we couldn't do this on our own, we needed Lily for that. So that was why we picked her up before we went into this place. We could also go back to Mu and check 4 more items. But I kind of want to do Angel Village Dungeon before I do that, I think. Chance to get a Rama statue. So, yeah. This is the dark space where you usually would transform for the first time, because there's 1 switch that is out of reach for Will, and you need usually you would need Freedan and hit it with his sword, because his sword has a longer reach. We're using Shadow, because Shadow transforms back at the end of the dungeon a bit faster than Freedan, and we don't have time. We need to meet this estimate. So we need to save some frames.
So in the vanilla game, Shadow is only available at the pyramid.
Yes, only for the last dungeon, but obviously we are going to abuse the fact that we have Shadow this early heavily for boss kills, for anything we can. Okay, more hieroglyphs is good. Hieroglyphs are not boss items again. I'm looking for boss items at this point, which is pretty good. And let's see, Princess Kara could be in this room. First, we're gonna do a speedy transform back. And is she here? She is not, but we get 1 more item. Monkey A, cool. You say Sam was a red jewel?
I don't think Sam has progression.
Okay. In that case, we're just going to go Inca as planned. I mean, we could check it. After the Inca, we're gonna be in Diamond Coast. We could just check it real quick.
Yes.
So, this is Inca Ruins. We have not been here yet because I needed the wool ability and the diamond block to full clear this place. Now I can. I also have everything I need to attack the boss, so we're going to go for our next boss kill. Hopefully. We are going to put the diamond block in here. Whoops. Okay, still worked. And then we're going to take a little detour to get 1 last item. Just, again, like in Edward's Castle, These enemies don't hurt a lot, and they are pretty passive and easy to dodge, so we're just gonna do that. More red jewels is fine. Since I need 48 for Jeweler's Mansion, I don't mind. And while we were away, these blades have fallen from the ceiling, so now I can go through the store. Nice God Dash. Gonna kill this guy to open up a shortcut to the start. Because in this dungeon there has been a new speedrun strat, which skips the boring middle part. So we're going to use that. But first we're going to get one more item at the end of this little section from the singing statue. So we have a little way up here, so we're just gonna move through this. Don't care about these. I don't care if I have low HP, because I want a death warp real soon. This is actually good that I have low HP. I'm gonna activate one of these statues so it follows me. Then I'm gonna use my telekinesis to move two of these on these gold blades, and the third statue just walks on its own. You used to move 3 statues, but this new strat is actually about 5 seconds faster, if it works, which it did. So yes, me. I'm gonna take a couple more hits on the way down. You can hit me. You can hit me, come on. Thank you. Do I have inventory space? No. Can use one more red jewel. Very good. And now we're gonna... This is the place where you would get the wind melody originally. Of course, for us it's just a random item, and let's see how it is. And after that I'm going to do the newest glitch, which is called the Z ladder. I'm going to use the wonky ladder mechanics to basically clip through the floor and go to the lower section of this... Ooh, Hieroglyph Tower was good. Go to the lower section of this dungeon early. So I'm just gonna death warp on this guy. I opened up the shortcut from the start, so I can just jump down here. And now I just have... Oh, do I still need to use one red jewel, because there's one more item in this room. And of course I'm going to do this strat. So what I did is I charged up Spin Dash, but I didn't fully charge it up. Instead I cancelled it, and that made it flagged me to deal ability damage, and with ability damage even my hits can destroy the statues. And now I'm gonna let myself hit by this guy and climb through the floor, climb into the store, and I'm down. And I skipped the completely itemless, boring and long-winded middle section. I'm just gonna backtrack for one more item, but I saved myself like 1.5 minutes. And this has also been found in the randomizer, but it's such a big time save that everybody has included it in their actual speedruns, in their PBs. Like the current world record for the 80% no wrong warp, Satox, he also got his new PB by using this glitch. So was found in the randomizer, but so useful that it made its way into the speedrun. Okay, while I was talking, we got the last item. We're gonna get one more item in the back. Gonna use one more red jewel. I'm not that worried about my HP at this point, because I have a good number of herbs. Even if this is a hard boss, I should be able to just heal. And I even got another one. Perfect. There are 12 herbs in the game. I already found 8 of them. I used 2 of them, so I'm at 6, which is a good place to be. Don't need to check the stock space. It was reflex. I already have my abilities.
Muscle memory.
Yeah, muscle memory. So now we're going to the gold tile room. Yeah. Usually we in the community we do a little guessing game, which tile and row. But yeah, we're just gonna... I'm always voting for vanilla tile, by the way.
Okay, it's in the southeast area, yeah? The vanilla tile.
Yes.
Yes.
Southeast is row 5, column 9. And It's almost.
No,
This would be vanilla.
So you have to
Very
stand
close. Yes, you
10
have to
seconds here.
you can brute force this if you just stand on each tile for 10 seconds. But obviously on 72 tiles that takes a while. So yeah. We're going to put down our Inca statues here. And because there's a dark space right before the boss, we're going to transform into Shadow. And whatever boss it is, we will be able to deal triple the damage that Will does. So instead of 40 hits that I need with Will, I only going to need 14 hits that I use with Shadow. So we're going to transform. We're going to take a heal for safety. In case it's Mummy Queen 2.0.
Yeah.
That's the only case I think I need a heal. If it's Mummy Queen regular, I'm just gonna die and not bother, because I don't need that statue. I would get stat upgrades for killing the bosses that I don't need, but I'm not that worried about my stats at this point. Like I said, I already have the pyramid cleared. The only bad place is Angkor Wat. And I can go Angkor Wat just next and be done with it.
Sadly, you don't have Kara at this moment, because then you can use the early fire. But
Yeah.
if
Oh,
it-
it's the vampires.
Well,
Let's do the vampires. Vampires with Shadow is actually super fast. Unless they troll
They try. A little bit.
a little bit. So I'm gonna use the aura glitch again. Basically, I want to manipulate them to stand on a certain spot, and when they are on that spot, you can see they just melt away, like the female vampire just melted away. She's already dead. I'm not gonna use an herpy, I'm just gonna try to predict where he's moving. Sadly did not. Doesn't work too well at this point. Okay, this was a time loss already. But I can deal damage very fast against the vampires without being while being invulnerable. While I'm in the aura animation, I cannot be hit. So this fight got from the most tedious to the actually one of the easier ones.
Yes. So with Will, this fight is
Yeah,
in the
speed run, you do this fight with Will. So you have two boss enemies, which shoot projectiles, have these fire shields, and you need to land 80 hits without getting hit and while the timer is running down. So this is usually the first time when you're in a casual playthrough when you really get frustrated, and it's also a big run killer in the speedrun. Let's go Diamond Mine. I want to get rid of these keys. I decided before I go uncovered.
So you go Angkor Wat first, or you?
Yeah, I'm gonna go uncovered. I'm gonna go uncovered while I still have much HP.
Yeah.
Also, I still need a ton of items. I have one more boss location is behind the boss rush, but I still need items for boss location number 4, boss location number 2, boss location number 3. So I'm gonna keep checking items for a while. I just want to get rid of these mine keys, and if it's really a Rama statue, then I'm going straight to Mu. Yeah, it was a Rama statue.
So it's a Rama statue. Okay.
See? My brain works sometimes. Okay, now I've got another boss location, so I'm gonna go check there immediately. Because why not? I got another set of stat upgrades. This time the boss gave me 1 HP, 1 defense, 1 strength, which is fine. Good mix. Like I said, the defense upgrades are more valuable than the strength upgrades. And because I have 2 defense upgrades, death warping is actually slower at this point. So from the diamond mine at least, we are just running out. And now we're going into the continent Mu, and we're gonna get the 4 checks that I skipped earlier. No, 3 checks left. I got the 1 check at least. So we're just going to go here. We're going to go Watamir, and then we're going to go Mu. Okay.
Lenses letter will be nice.
Probably gonna get Lenses letter after I find Kara.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
Happens a lot, yeah. Okay, so we've been here before. We already opened up all the layers because the water is gone. But now I have slider, and now I can use these little shortcuts. I can just slide through these sections in the wall and get the items super fast. Can also get to the boss super fast, and I'm gonna get one item that's a bit out of the way, but it would be too punishing to leave it behind, I guess. Unless I find both boss items I need right now, at this point. I need 3 items for all my bosses, I just realized. That's a crystal ball. That's a winner. That's a winner. Definitely.
So we need the boss location from Mu.
Yeah,
check.
I've got 2 more boss locations I can check, and there's still Solid Arm in the back of my mind that I can probably reach at some point.
No.
I'm at 38 if I use the ones in my inventory, so just 10 more, which should be Angel Village and Angkor Wat should take care of that. Right? Right. I don't need you to tell me I'm right. I know I'm right. And I know I'm right because these are the only dungeons I haven't cleared yet, so we're on a super good pace. So yeah, we're going to move through a very long location, so if you have any donations or anything you want to tell the people, now would be a super time.
Yeah, sure. I want to remind everybody we're raising money for Save the Children here. Currently we raised $662 and a handful of cents. If you also want to donate, you can find the link below the stream. And I want to quickly mention that after this run, we have the Pokemon Crystal Randomizer. And we still got the name of the starter Pokemon and the trainer name up for grabs with Bid Wars. As I read earlier, the $50 donation by Butters, currently the winner for the starter Pokemon. And for the trainer name, we got Eddie with $60. So if you'd rather have a different starter Pokemon name or a different trainer name, get your donations in like the next half an hour or so. Maybe a bit more, maybe less. Guess we'll have to see. And yeah, every dollar counts. Save the Children. Great charity event. Yeah. Back to you.
Thank you. We picked up the item at the way. It was just a red jewel, but just a red jewel in. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Let's try it, Will. Let's try as Will. If it's Mummy Queen, I'm not gonna kill it, and if it's cast off, I'm gonna be able to do it. And if it's Mummy Queen 2-0, I get transformed automatically. Yeah. And Sandfang I can also kill as well. Yeah, I think it's better to go as well. Then
hopefully it's Mummy Queen 2.
It's Mummy Queen 2?
Hopefully.
We'll see. So we're gonna put down these 2 Rama statues. And we are going to see which boss hides, and it's gonna be Sandfanger, isn't it? Yes, it is.
Yes, it is Sandfanger.
Wow. Predictions. Yeah. I need this boss, which is good. I'm gonna have a slightly longer boss kill now, but it's not that big of a deal. This is a boss you would face in the Great Wall, so you would kill it as you will anyway. And this boss has 3 different phases, and right now he's really spoiling me because he's giving me egg phases. All of the egg phases, I get Party Fanger. Oh god, I need to kill these little worms now, otherwise I'm gonna get into trouble. Wow. Party Fanger, please. There we go. Woo.
That was close.
That was close, but not close enough. So I want these egg phases because I can land many hits, but obviously if I'm not placed properly, these little worms will spawn. And yeah, they can be a problem, but the other phases that he has are the left-right phases. And the up-down phases, I want the left-right phases more than the up-down phases because they're a bit faster. But I can only get a max of 2 hits either way. But this was a dream Fanger. This was 5x Fanger. This is, yeah. If I hadn't messed up that first X cycle, that would have been super fast. So we have another required statue, so we're 2 out of 4. And we have another boss location available to us. And I kind of want to check it right away. I kind of do, because if it's cast off, then I can just go for red jewels and be done with it.
Yeah.
And if it's not cast off, then cast off has to be in the boss rush, no? Oh no, it could still be pyramid. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
Pyramid.
Yeah, could be pyramid.
And for a pyramid, we need one hieroglyph and
yeah,
journal.
we're gonna check this, and while we're there, when we kill the boss, we're just gonna check the coffin, because that's the last time we're gonna go to Sea Palace really fast. Okay, I've already turned down 3 of the crystal balls. Now is the 4th one, but before I go in there, I'm gonna transform into Shadow, because of Shadow does more damage. I want to do that. I would have done that for Sandfanger too. Sadly, Sandfanger did not cooperate, or the Dark Space rather did not. Whoops. Will you go in there, please? Thank you. So I'm going into this room, because this room is the closest transformation Dark Space I can reach. Just have to jump up this ramp. I'm gonna use item buffering now, because otherwise it's a frame perfect trick, because I have slider. I can't just run and do a jump attack anymore, because if I run and attack, I will do the slider instead. So I used item buffering to still be able to jump up this ramp.
Yes.
And we're gonna transform. And we're gonna see which boss it is. If it's Mummy Queen, we're gonna nope out, because Mummy Queen fight is super long, but either of the other 2 bosses we will kill. Also, Mummy Queen is like my arch nemesis, and I don't want to fight her if I don't have to. Because I will probably die a lot, which would be good for donations, but not good for my confidence. Ooh, cast off. Perfect.
This is definitely one cycle.
This is a, yeah. This is a guaranteed 1 cycle, because there's a very long time period where I can attack him. And since I only need 14 hits, I can almost guaranteed 1 cycle him. Yeah, there we go. Very good, very good. Castoff is one of our required bosses. He correlates with statue number 1. And Castoff is also an important boss, because there's an item locked behind Castoff. Because after Castoff, we jump down this very long fall, but Will has legs made of rubber, so not a big deal. And this guy will give me another item, which is the only boss that has an item locked behind him. So yeah, yay for item. So now I know that Mummy Queen is going to be in the pyramid, because that's the only location where, yeah, boss rush is Will. So the boss rush is vanilla. And I could do the boss rush just now, but I still need Kara. So we're going to see if we find enough red jewels. So the hieroglyphs are, I know where my bosses are now, just figured it out, because there's only 3 locations left. But I still need Princess Kara, so I still need to... I don't need to.
So you have all abilities and all items to clear the game.
Yeah.
So you prefer a gamble to...
Yeah, I just want to find Kara now. I just
Cress, or you full clear?
No, I'm going to do Angel Village, because Angel Village is super fast. But I'm probably not going to do the riddles.
Okay.
Probably not going to do the riddles. Yeah, and if she's not in Angel Village, we're going Cress first and then Angkor Wat, because Cress is much faster to get 1 check in Cress than to full clear Angkor Wat.
Yeah.
Even if we technically could go mod Angkor Wat. Yeah, we probably will go mod. I'm not gonna go for red jewels. We're gonna do the boss rush, I guess. Boss rush is 6 minutes most.
And yeah, I think all the red jewels are in Angkor Wat. Maybe.
I mean, there's 5 more items in here, so...
Yeah, and in the village dungeon.
Yeah, how many do I have? I have 30... I have 41 now, so I need 7 more.
Yes.
I already found the double and the triple, so that's 7 checks, so I can't even find enough red jewels in here.
So you have only 1 triple and 1 double, no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see if this is maybe an herb. Father's journal. Okay, this is useless. This is actually not helpful anymore.
You have a force here?
No, because I killed the boss that correlates with it already.
Yes. So we're almost done, right?
Yeah, we're super good on time. We just need to find Kara now. And she could be either at the end of this dungeon, or she has two other locations she could be. So yeah, we're super good on time. We're gonna find Kara before we go into the boss rush, because then I have early firebirds for the vampires free fight. Yeah, why not take that advantage? Okay, so we're gonna skip the riddles. There would be 4 more items in the lower section, but I have to solve a couple of riddles, find the differences between 2 rooms. That takes time. We don't want to waste time, so we're just gonna go out. We're gonna have the slowest death warp in the history of death warps, because so much HP and so much defense. These things just deal 1 damage against me.
The world's slowest death warp.
Yes, death warp of endless eternal doom. If you have any more donations, you probably have 5 more minutes. No, kidding. It's gonna happen. Eventually. Hi, Bagu.
Hi,
Welcome. Who you see in chat right now is Don't Bagu Me. He's the main developer of this randomizer, and yeah. He made all of this, pretty much the basis of all of this happen, and yeah, he's a good lad.
Yeah, we're almost done with this game.
Yeah.
Only need to find Kara.
Yeah, so Kara can be in Cress or in Angkor Wat,
yeah.
and we can go mode both.
Yes.
So
But
pretty much set.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
And
gonna.
as you see, as you said, you prefer Crest before Angkor Wat.
Yeah, I do prefer Crest before. Yeah, I know she's in Crest, Bagu. I know, but I keep hoping she's not. Okay, so we already cleared all the tedious side rooms, so we're just gonna have to speed through and get to the main room. This is why I went in here with 2 mushroom drops, because with the double dip with the last mushroom drop is not as time consuming as you might expect, even though it's still a terrible dungeon, because you only have these narrow paths and flying enemies and spitting enemies and shooting enemies and fairies that create fireballs and all the good stuff. But yeah, we still have Spin Dash to save us. And by now I have 6 strength, so enemies will melt once I touch them with Spin Dash, which is also super nice. So our HP is low, but our defense is high and our strength is high, so we really don't have anything to worry about, except for long death warps. Which is why we're gonna take some hits here from this guy. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, 1 last room. And then it's just going to be either Kara is here or she's in Angkor Wat, which is not the worst either. Oh, she's here.
She's in
What
Crest.
surprise! Yay! Hey Kara, come into my pocket, and an empty chest next to her. Perfect. We found both empty chests. Mission accomplished. Okay, we're in go mode. We have Kara freed now. We have unlocked early firebirds, which means we can use the final attack of Shadow, which usually is only available for the end boss, right away. So we're gonna go to the boss rush now. The boss rush is gonna take a couple of minutes, but after that we will be able to fight the last boss. So yeah, that was a pretty nice seed.
Yes.
I need to go to Euro is fine. I just need to go to Babel. And since our friend Neil has found his plane again, he also knows where to be. Otherwise, boring, Bagu. Because Ritual Madness, I don't know how much HP I'm gonna have at the end.
Does. Can be a little bit frustrating at some point.
Yeah, so Ritual Madness, the upgrades you get from the bosses are random. 1 HP upgrade is mandatory, but sometimes you kill 4 bosses and you get only 12 HP back. So I had practice seeds where I just had 9 HP at the end of the game. And the Apocalypse Gaia fight, which Bagu mentions, is the randomizer only bonus boss, has 3 additional boss phases, and is super hard. It's not Tohu level hard, but it's pretty bullet hell at some point. So with 9 HP, it's super frustrating, and I cannot claim to do it within the estimate if it happens. So for the sake of these good people that allow the randomizer run into their event, I had to make this a bit more consistent by picking Dark Gaia. Okay, this is Lag City. Inhabitants 1. Cast of 2.
Nice pattern.
Nice pattern indeed. So we're gonna refight all the bosses you've already seen, but we're gonna fight them in the Stark Space rooms, and we will also be transformed into Shadow for each boss. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do a little transformation each time, but I will be Shadow, and as you've seen, I have Firebird, so I have a distance ability, and I can also still use the Aura Glitch. So the boss fights are not that hard, it's just the transformation probably takes longer than the boss fight in most cases.
Viper with early Firebird is all nice too.
And here I use the Aura Glitch, because I know he's gonna hover in this spot for a long time, so I can get 6-7 hits in super easy. We're gonna use Firebirds and Aura Glitch for the Vampires refight too.
Yes.
Yeah, and as we're going to the end of this seat, so this Ritual Madness is an option that this is the first time we're showing this at an event, but there are a lot of other options you can play. We've just been playing with new settings, so this randomizer is far from finished. We still have ideas, and our devs, Bagu and his team, are still working to do more stuff. Right now we had something we called Orb Shuffle, where these orbs that you've seen me use to open doors now open random doors. You can think a bit like Key Sanity in A Link to the Past, where you find a key, but you don't find the key you need in that place, in the same dungeon necessarily. So there's still so much more to happen, and if you want to be a part of that, which we would invite you gladly to our community Discord, you can also roll your seeds. The site to do that would be iogr.app. iogr.app. You can roll your seeds there. You can find the link to our community Discord there, and in the Discord we have guides, we have tutorials, we have picture guides, everything you need to get started in this game. And yeah, super friendly community. I've joined 3 years ago and I haven't regretted it since. So yeah, if you like randomizers and if you like a challenging game, Illusion of Gaia is the one for you. Okay, this is the Sandfanger refight. I'm going to do the same as before. I'm just going to try to get as many hits in as possible. With early Firebirds it's a bit easier for me. Like I can get additional hits while he flies away. Ah, sadly.
Oh, it would be nice when he's can get hits off screen.
That's an egg face. That means the boss is dead now. Perfect.
There's even a readme.
There's even a readme, yes. Who needs readmes? But yes, we have a readme. Yeah, and we're also very international, so we have guides in French, in Spanish, and in German as well. So if that's more what you're looking after, you're very welcome. We do weekly seats, weekly races. We have a community tournament, a small one that we hold each year. So yeah, we'd be happy to have you if you're interested. But now it's time for our last mandatory boss fight. This is a boss we haven't seen before. This is the Mummy Queen. The Mummy Queen has 2 phases. In the first phase, she is going to split up after each hit, and these ghosts move semi-randomly towards me, and I want to manipulate her to stay in the middle as much as possible, and I'm going to use Aura to skip these spirits. I'm going to have to lure her a bit to the right now. And with early Firebirds, this is not that hard. So I'm going to do this until she has only half her HP left. Then phase 2 starts, and in phase 2 she can either give me a bad cycle, which is the cycle you see right now when she splits up, or she can give me a good cycle, which means she's going to turn into a roulette, and one of the ghosts is can hit one of the ghosts, and if I hit that ghost immediately, then I can immediately hit her again, and I can get a couple of hits in super fast. Sadly, I messed up the timing a bit, so we're gonna take a safety herb and then use our Firebirds to reset her again. And another good cycle. As you can see, I'm heavily abusing these early Firebirds right now. This is a bad cycle. One bad cycle is not the worst. That hit that I missed cost me more time than this bad cycle. And a good cycle to end, and there she goes. Mummy Queen defeated. And with these stats I could have done Apo Gaia, but I didn't know in advance, so yeah. Okay, so now all we have to do is collect our last Mystic Statue, which means we're gonna... Oops. It's
left, right.
Yeah, it's even. It's not an even boss. It's Statue 6, but it's not an even boss. It's an uneven boss. Got confused for a moment. So we're going to take the Vampire Lift up to the top. There's another Dark Space here, but I don't need it anymore. I'm just gonna talk to this skeleton here, which is my dad, and he's gonna give me another statue, which is number 6. And with that, we are in go mode, and we will only have to fight the last boss. So about 3.5 minutes from now on, we will be finished with the seed. Yes. To gain access to the last boss, we just have to go into any dark space, and then I'm gonna do one more safety save, although I don't need it, and then we can trigger this last cutscene. We have Kara, we have the Aura, and we have the Mystic Statues, which means one last transformation, and we can fly up to the Chaos Comet, where we will have our last boss fight. Odin's Spear. Oh, I was hoping for its morphin time.
So Bagu's writing something to you.
Are you running the tourney this year? It depends on if Queenie is willing to give up some of it, but I will definitely help and do everything I can, because I love this game so much. It's basically my main game. Whenever I feel like gaming, I'm usually playing Gaia. So yeah, I love this randomizer so much. I'm definitely up for running a tournament if necessary. Okay, so we're in the last boss fight. 2 phases. The first phase is the Comet phase. Hit him when he opens his mouth, then dodge the Acid Rain. I can use the Aura to dodge the projectiles, or I can just manually. I'm lazy, so I'm using the Aura. But either works fine. There's not really much I can do to speed this up, because there's always going to be 14 projectiles. So I just have to hit her 7 times. And then phase 2 begins. In phase 2, we will fight the actual Dark Gaia, which is a big statue. She will shoot homing laser orbs at us, which I have to block. She will spawn bubbles, which try to hit me. And she will shoot a laser from her mouth at me. which I have to dodge by using the aura. And shortly before she uses that mouth laser, she's vulnerable, and I'm trying to hit as many hits on her as possible. Sadly, I only got in 4 hits. I would have needed 5 hits to make it a 3 cycle. Most likely gonna be a 4 cycle now, so I'm gonna get this damage phase 4 times. Which means an extra 40 seconds at most, but it's fine. We're still super in estimate.
Yes.
Oh, that was 5. Nice, the 3 cycle is still alive. I need 5 on this last phase. We're gonna go for it. We're not gonna use aura. We're just gonna spam.
Here's another one who likes it too, by the way.
Come on, Gaia, no troll. Nice, 3 cycle.
GG.
And that's time. Woo!
GG.
What was that on time? 1:44. That was not bad. So yeah, that was Illusion of Gaia. That was Red Jewel Madness. Puts another twist on it. Makes inventory management way more of a deal than in the regular game.
Yes.
Like I said, irogr.app is the place to go if you want to see more of this. Thank you so much for having me. Big shout outs to Don't Bagoo Me in chat and to the whole Randomizer community, and big shout outs to SpeedCon for organizing all of this. My name was SO5Z, and
Yes, I'm Buzz Renter, and
have a great last day of this marathon.
yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye.